Well, I started as a drug addict in high school. Back then it was like the cool thing to do. It was all about acceptance. That's just what everyone did in the neighborhood that I came from growing up. It eventually turned into an everyday thing, and before you know it, I become, dependent on it, and I start experiencing how opiates numb the pain, made me not feel what I didn't want to feel. It definitely brought me to some dark places. I was selling drugs with no regard for the public safety. I was driving around with guns. That was a normal thing. It was an everyday thing, and it was accepted around the crowd that I was around. For years, that's what I did, like I said, to numb all the pain. And then once I think I turned 19 and I became incarcerated for quite some time. I pretty much spent the last 10 years in and out of adult correctional facilities. And a big thing is that loneliness feeling, the feeling of abandonment while being incarcerated. When I got out, that's the life that I knew. And the only way I knew to numb that pain and not feel those feelings that I didn't want to feel was going back to drugs. What I used for my excuse to use was because I didn't want to feel the pain from losing my oldest brother to an overdose. I honestly don't think I've felt pain ever before. Physical pain, definitely not emotional pain, ever like that before. It was like when he died, like all the love was like out of me. It completely left my body. And I didn't want to deal with that. I was conditioned from being in prison for numerous years at a time, not to show emotions, to pretty much be unpredictable. I don't want anyone to know my next move. I don't want anyone to know when I'm having a bad day. So when that happened, I completely shut down, and I went right back to what I knew, and that was heroin. My life was completely unmanageable. It was spiraling out of control. I was committing crimes left and right. After I got out of jail, my uncle referred me to a detox, and while I was there, I learned about the Operation Hope at the Waterville Police Department, and through way of them, I made my way to McShin Foundation in Richmond, Virginia. McShin showed me every avenue and every tool that I needed in order to stay clean. The intensive program, conditioning us by going to meetings and groups all day. It kind of just gets you into that routine of like, that's how your life, your schedule should be. The biggest thing that McShin showed me was connectivity. When I first came down, that's what I was searching for. I was so empty without love in me after my brother died. And being in a house with 12 other guys, some older, some younger, I looked up to a lot of them as like, they took his place kind of as like my older brother. Today, I actually celebrate my first year in recovery. I have a job, I pay taxes, I'm up to date on child support. I'm very involved in my family's lives. The last year for me has, it's definitely had its ups and downs, but my life today, I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm willing to do anything that I need to in order to keep the life that I have today. And that's all because of the life that McShin has given me.